I thought it might be interesting to share my storyboard for the latest episode of Zerian the Wizard. I use a pretty common technique of using sticky notes to kind of plan things out so I can kind of move the scenes around and also just focus on really clear posing and kind of think about how I want to represent the scene in a very simple way. You know, Zerian the Wizard is a very simple style, so I'm just going to kind of walk through this and you can kind of see where things developed. You can see this scene kind of got moved around. This was actually the opening scene where Cardamon is waving around his wand, makes a copy of himself with some dark magic, gets very shocked and flies away. Cut back to Zerian, potentially with a cup of tea, it looks like in this scene. This is supposed to be the window opening in some kind of blustery wind, and Zerian looking quite shocked at this. Here's Zerian looking very disappointed, and these are very messy. These are very simple sketches, you can see. Here's an idea of what the letter might have looked like. You can see I have a little bit of dialogue sketched out here. Here's Zerian reading the letter. There's a couple scenes missing here. I ended up adding some things, but here are a couple of sketches of Marzipan the Dove. Marzipan the Dove and Cardamon. I had some ideas where maybe they would have a little bit of an interaction, but they ended up getting scrapped. Here's a scene where Zerian is talking to Madame Bramblewick, very mysterious character, her first appearance. Here she is with Marzipan the Dove. This didn't quite come to fruition, but you can kind of see this would probably have moved back and forth as they're talking to each other. And then you can see here Zerian kind of pontificating on the way how a good wizard is always supposed to act. A little bit of dialogue sketches here. I like to do a lot of sketching on my sticky notes and put them up on my pin board, but I also have a notebook where you can see a couple of more detailed sketches, the scene of Zerian holding his items, some close-ups, some more sketches of Cardamon. So yeah. This is how I write a Zerian the Wizard episode. I hope this is interesting. I think it's super cool to see the behind the scenes, so let me know if you like this sort of thing.